Welcome back, everybody. We are working on the rest of our 6.1 notes today. Two more rules to talk about. The first one is negative exponents. Negative exponents never make negative answers. Never. Why? Well, let's go back to scientific notation. If we have something like 4.3 times 10 to the 44th power, that means that we would move this decimal to the right 44 times, way over here, add 43 zeros, and have some super big number that I don't even think I know what the word for would be. Be more than trillion and billion and quadrazillion and all that. If I had 4.3 times 10 to the negative 44th, it doesn't make that negative. That negative 44 in scientific notation says, okay, well now move the decimal to the left 43 times. So we have our decimal over here and we have 43 zeros and then a 4 and a 3. So it didn't make it negative, it just made it very small, a super small decimal. So negative exponents are another way of writing small numbers. We can never leave negative exponents in our answers unless we have scientific notation. That's the only time that we're ever going to be able to do that. Some examples. Negative exponents take the reciprocal, which remember we call that flipping sometimes, of the numbers. Once we have taken care of that reciprocal, then we drop the negative sign because it's now done its job. The negative sign has now done its job and we can drop it. All right, j to the negative fourth. So j to the negative fourth is right now j over 1. So if we were to flip that or take the reciprocal of it, that means that the j and the 1 are trading places. So I have 1 over j, and because we've done that flip or the reciprocal, we drop the negative, and now it's just j to the positive fourth. The second one, we have 1 over t to the negative third. Remember, again, this negative takes that t and does the reciprocal or flips it opposite from where it's at. So now it's going to hop to the numerator and be t over 1. The negative did its job, so we drop it, and now we just have positive 3. Remember, we don't have to leave that 1 there, so we can leave that as just t to the third. This third example, if I have p over 2 to the negative 2, the negative means I have to take the p and the 2, and they have to do the reciprocal or flipper or take each other's spot. So we would have 2 over p now to the positive second. Again, we flipped it. That was the negative's job, and so we're done. All right, I have one more thing for you to add at the very bottom of this piece of paper. And this is the zero exponent rule. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything. Absolutely anything. Anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So if I have 17 to the 0 power, that's 1. If I have 3, 6, 7, 2, 4, 4, 0, 9, 3, 5, 5, 1, 2 to the 0 power, that answer is 1. If I have any big old gobbledygook in here, if I have, let's see, 3 squared n to the 5th, k to the negative 7th, t to the 19th, 4, a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h to the 0 power. Again, the 0 power on the outside takes all of that stuff and says, yep, you're just 1. So anything to the 0 power is 1. All right, recapping all of this stuff. We have adding and subtracting like terms. That's what this monomials part means. Adding and subtracting like terms, we don't change the exponents. We just add or subtract the coefficients or the numbers in front. So we have x squared y and x squared y. 9 minus 10 is negative 1 x squared y. And you don't have to have the 1 there, or you can. That's completely up to you. We have w and w. How many w's do we have? 8 plus 6 is 14 w's. All right. Product of powers. Basically, that means we're multiplying like bases. My like bases are both a. So if I'm multiplying an a by an a, then we take the exponents and we add them together. So copy the base and add the exponents. M times m, so our base is m, and 7 plus 2 is 9. Because this is all multiplication, that's okay. We have x and x. 2 plus 4 is 6. And then we have our y's. So y and y. 3 plus 5 is 8. Quotient of powers, or when we're dividing. If we have same bases, we're subtracting exponents. So copy the base and subtract the exponents. X to the 8th over x to the 3rd. They're both x. And so 8 minus 3 is 5. Our final answer would be x to the 5th. All right, we have two different things going on here. So we have a, and we have 5 minus 3 for that. And then we have b for 2 minus 6. Well, that's a squared and b to the negative 4th. But wait a minute. We said we can't have negative exponents, so where does this b go? Well, that b flips underneath. So we had a squared b to the negative 4th. The b is the only thing that's negative, so we keep the a squared. Right now this is all over 1. And we drop that b to the 4th underneath. Once it drops underneath, because it flipped, or we took the reciprocal of it, remember the negative has done its job, and it's now a positive 4. Okay. Power of a power, or exponent of an exponent. If I have a base with 2 exponents there, then we multiply the exponent to all exponents inside. 3 times 4 is 12. What happens if I have 2 things in here? Well, that's okay. We have a to the 6th to the 3rd and b squared also to the 3rd. So we're multiplying those. 6 times 3 is 18, and 2 times 3 is 6. And so this would be our final answer. Negative exponents, again, a reminder that just means we're taking the reciprocal or flipping it. Right now, this is m over 1. And so 1 over m, and then we drop the negative and have it be positive 10. You have to be careful on this next one because our negatives only apply to that b on the top and the c on the bottom. So the a stays and the d stays. But that b was on the top in the numerator. It's going to flip down underneath and drop the negative because it did its job. And then the c was underneath, so its reciprocal will flip it up to the front, and then it becomes a positive 3. So ac to the third over b squared d. And our last one, the fun one, anything to the 0 power is 1. So 1 and 1. Just be careful. If you had 4r to the 0, remember the 0 power is only with the r right now. So that's 4 times 1, which is 4. Versus if you had 4r to the 0 like this, that 0 exponent goes to everything inside those parentheses, and that answer is 1. We are going to practice a whole lot more of these. See you next time.